So I remember life before Pokemon and Google. And they are very eye opening as to how much difference they made in this world. Like, it wasn't like how some would say when YouTube came out. Like, this is how well I know Google. Like, I remember before Google Maps, even, but Google Maps didn't come out until 2005. But anyway, so I would do this when I was a kid. I would type things in. This is also how I kind of learned to spell. Like I would type in dinosaurs to see how many results came up. And it was interesting because you saw how new the internet was to people. Like the lack of things you would find. Like sometimes I would look for things and there would be like, you'd reach your final results and it'd be like the first page, or sometimes it would show like 9 pages. And at the bottom of every Google page, now they do not have this anymore. Nowadays, you would go down to the bottom, it'll just keep going and going. It would show all the results like 10, 20, like it would show like 26 sometimes. Like it showed 10 dot 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 26. And it'd be like Google. And you had the option to click 1, 2, 3, 4. Or like say you click the 10th one, it would show like 1, then it would show like 6, 15, and yeah, and then it would show the final result, dot 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 final result. Which is pretty wild because like now the internet is just bigger than it is. So, and I know this because I would sometimes search my teachers' names, and like this is back like 2001. I'd be looking up my teachers' names, and it would just you would barely find them. And it was only funny because sometimes like some of my teachers knew how to use computers, and sometimes they didn't, and you would just find it. It was rather funny, and it was so much easier to do things back then on the internet. Well, it was difficult in the sense of like learning things, but once you had the hang of it, you didn't have to like fight for a website. Like the guy who found pizza.com, like it wasn't pizza, it was just like he just owned the domain and then he sold it for a lot of money. I mean, sure, easy ways to make money, right? And it was also funny because like Google came out like before the Pokemon craze. I mean, I didn't really know what Pokemon was until 1999. I was in kindergarten. I actually have a Pokemon shirt on my first day of school. It's like gotta catch 'em all. And funny enough, Pokemon, like it was just suddenly everyone knew about it. Like the show was really popular in my day. Like, but the thing though was before that, like there was no show that took over. And there was like not really much of a trading card game. Like I mean, you collect sports cards like baseball, was hockey cards in my day, but right after like the Pokemon craze happened, like everyone pretty much forgot about all the other shows. Like it was kind of like the time where like well, the thing was in the 80s, it lasted pretty much until 96. 97 was basically the cutoff where it was like all technology was slowly getting introduced. But like Power Rangers was popular back in the day. I'm trying to think what else was. There were a lot of shows, but Power Rangers is one of the first ones that come to mind. But Power Rangers wasn't really as popular. There was a variety of shows. Like there was no real one. It would just be like all over the place. And then right after Pokemon came out, like it was just basically everyone's favorite show. Like not just like one individual person, but everyone liked it. Like even if you didn't like it, you had to like it because everyone in the school was talking about it. It was insane. And I don't think there'll be anything like it. And I'll put it in perspective for the people who don't understand how big it was. Like, if people remember Pokemon Go, like in 2016, everyone got right back into Pokemon. Like, literally everybody, even me. And to put that in perspective, that was kind of what it was like, but we saw the adult version of it. But it didn't bring the same craze back as it did in 1999. 1999 for Pokemon was a whole different ballpark nobody can understand. Like, I'll put it this way. You would hear kids like saying Power Rangers is for babies. But like you would think that maybe a 16-year-old would be collecting Pokemon cards, right? Well, they were. So that's what makes it so interesting to me. And I cannot wrap my head around it. There'll be nothing like this. And if there is, I want to see it. because like I think I would get myself invested into it. Only because like Pokemon cards go for so much money and people don't understand like. So here's the thing about Pokemon cards is you never really found them at like now, like for example, like I'm trying to think of the most popular card. We'll say Yu-Gi-Oh. Yu-Gi-Oh kind of had a little run, but it didn't last that long. I mean, it's still kind of popular in terms of like fanatics go. But the thing was, how do you say it? Like, okay, I'm trying to figure out what I was saying. I was talking about Pokemon. Let's talk about Pokemon craze, but the thing is, like, it was super popular in the sense of how, like, fuck, what was I saying? Sorry, I got a little lost there. But I was trying to say, like, how the Pokemon craze was just, it was eye-opening. But, like, oh yeah, saying how, so Pokemon got so popular that, in video stores, like, they would, like, you wouldn't sell, they would sell Yu-Gi-Oh cards in video stores, but we don't have video stores anymore. I don't even know what the equivalent is these days, but video stores were where families went every weekend to get videos. And this is one thing I remember very well, is you'd rent videos, video games, and my day was Rogers Video, and then they opened a Blockbuster near me, and I started going to Blockbuster because it was a walk away. That being said, they would have them at the front with all the snacks. So, right up by the cashiers, so you're basically buying Pokemon cards. Like, everywhere sold Pokemon cards, even places that weren't designated to sell cards. It was wild. And I would get them, like, every week, and it's funny, like, no one will not understand, like, how, like, they're going for a lot of money, because, like, you open them up, and the smell when you open them up, oh my god. It was, like, the best new smell you can find. It was better than a new car smell. And opening them up was like, it wasn't like opening up a chocolate bar. It was like opening up gold, and you knew you were finding gold, but you're not always going to be guaranteed gold. Maybe you'll pull probably another Rattata, but worst case scenario. But yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh was another thing I got into later, but this was all before 9/11, and I made a video about this. Like, no one will understand, like, how different everything became after 9/11. It wasn't just, like, airports and all that. Literally everything. It was wild. Like, Pokemon kind of, like, Pokemon never went downhill. People just shied away from it a little more, which was the thing about Pokemon. Yeah, I just wanted to share that, because sometimes I wonder in my life what, like, the best things were, and it's like, I mean, it's funny because I heard my dad say, like, Pokemon was lame because they're just a bunch of animals that say their own names, but, like, I mean, it's weird for me because, like, I personally still don't get it, but, like, what wows me is how everyone liked it. Literally everybody. Like, I can't stress that enough. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I love to do these videos. I kind of love to teach history. I'm sorry if I stutter, but I had a brain fart in that little bit of when I was trying to get to the video store. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. Peace out.